Alrighty, we should be live now. Hello everyone, my name is Mitchell Mander. It's been a while since I've done one of these streams. Welcome to my live discussion of Pokemon Horizons. We're going to be talking about episodes 90 and 91 in today's live discussion. We got an hour-long special, so we're going to be talking about 2 episodes today. So yeah. Anyways, if you are someone that's brand new and you are just coming across this stream for the first time, or by the time it's done streaming, it'll be a video. If you come across this for the first time, just a few things that we do here. I usually give it about 5 minutes for people to start showing up, and after that point, I usually give a summary of the episode. This time we're going to be doing a summary of 2 episodes. And then I assign a rating to the episode, give my thoughts on it, and then hand it over to the chat, and then we just talk about whatever after that point. Additionally, we usually do this on Saturdays, but, well, we had 2 episodes, and, only one of the episodes was subbed on Saturday night, so I decided to push this to Sunday night instead, so I can cover both episodes. Kill 2 birds with one stone, so to say. We used to do this. We used to do this at noon on Saturdays, but due to some circumstances in my life, I've kind of had to move things around. So we're doing this at night now. So we're on 8 to 10 o'clock Eastern Time Zone, PM. So yeah, just to kind of get that all out of the way. Let's see who's all here. It looks like Sharon's here. Hi, Sharon. Yes, I can see the chat. I'm doing alright. I'm tired, though. But I'm still here. But, yeah. We do have a couple people here. It looks like we got at least 7 people here, so what's up, y'all? To my lurkers out there, I love y'all. I encourage anybody to join the chat if you want to. If not, just feel free to just hang out. Give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. Oh, nice. It looks like we're up to 12 people now. What's up, y'all? If you could do me a favor and hit that like button, I'd definitely appreciate it. And also vote in the poll. Now I said rate this episode out of 10. We got 2 episodes. So I'm kind of combining them both since it's an hour-long special. So overall, what would you rate these 2 episodes? Hi, Miguel. Pikachu. Yes, there is a Pikachu in the show. We call him Cap. Yeah. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Getting ready to go into the next week. I'm not looking forward to going back to work. Kind of want to sleep more. I have things to say, but I will wait until your review. Yeah. I watched both of these episodes separately, so I watched one on Saturday and one on Sunday today. So hopefully I can kind of like remember everything I want to say. Oh, one more thing before I get started, though. Gotta mention this. And I don't think I have a link in the description for this, so let me do that really quickly. So, the music you hear in the background, it comes from a separate stream, the Video Game Study Lounge. It pretty much is lo-fi remixes of video game music. Like right now you're getting a Dire Docs lo-fi remix, which is pretty cool. Game Chops, Video Game Study Lounge, cool stuff. I listen to it when I'm reading, working out, just relaxing. I need something to listen to, studying, I'm at work. Usually if I'm working, I'll put on music, and sometimes I put on the Video Game Study Lounge. It's pretty cool. to check it out. I'm going to put a link in the description for that, so if you guys want to check that out after the stream, you totally can do that. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So let me put that out here now. Give me 1 second. I almost got it ready. I'll put it right there. There we go. Link is out there. If you need to refresh the video to check out the link, go ahead and do that. But like I said, I'd say probably check them out after the stream ends. But anyways, it looks like we're at the 5-minute mark. Also, I'm kind of hanging out in my living room, so if Matt shows up at some point later on, don't be surprised. He's hanging out with my buddy. So when he comes home, he'll probably walk in the door and you guys can say hi to him. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and review episodes 90 and 91 of Pokemon Horizons. So starting off with episode 90, this is, you know, the beginning of the Mega Voltage arc. It's 1 year later. Roy is out investigating a slacking that seems to have signs of being influenced by Requiem. It looks like Dot actually tipped Roy off, as Roy for the last year has been training in Kalos. Just off doing training on his own. Got a shiny Lucario while he was hanging out there. Also met Alt, who, as Roy here is investigating this slacking that's exhibiting signs of having, you know, been induced, you know, being influenced by Requiem. Alt kind of ruins things and tries to challenge Roy to a battle. Anyways, they eventually find it, and it is rampaging, because it's usually a lazy Pokemon, but as soon as it gets agitated because of the Requiem, it goes crazy. So we have Roy and Alt teaming up to take it on. And we have mainly it's Lucario and Sableye that are doing most of the work, but Cap and Crocodile and Kilowattrel also do contribute as well. Cap's actually the one that does the finishing blow on it, though. We get to see them Mega Evolve their Pokemon. One thing that was kind of notable is that its Hyper Beam was enhanced by the Requiem to the point where it was basically doing a Kamehameha wave. It was quite destructive and destroyed part of the forest. So they had to calm it down, so they do that. So that's pretty much the first part of the episode is, you know, Roy kind of confirms that, hey, yeah, this Pokemon clearly is influenced by Requiem, despite the fact that Terapagos, you know, got rid of all of it, supposedly. But apparently it's still hanging around here and there. And although Alt is hanging out with Roy, Roy just ditches him, which I thought was kind of funny. You could tell that Roy is just kind of annoyed with him as he's just trying to challenge him all the time. He's just like, yeah, get out of here, buddy. But anyways, moving on to the other part of the episode, we have Liko, who's returned back to the Indigo Academy. Obviously, it's pretty clear that she's experienced some trauma as a result of what happened, and it clearly has been demotivated by what happened. And, you know, Anne even notices, and it's clear that she has a cloud over her head. Also, it looks like Matt showed up. So, if I get interrupted in this review section, that's why, because Matt will be walking in a minute. So if you guys want to say hi to Matt, go ahead and say hi. So I just want to put that out there. I might actually wait for him to walk in and then walk into his room to continue the review. So I figured he'd be out later. I'm actually surprised he's back sooner than I was expecting. I actually had to get the keys from him because I actually left my keys here. So when I got home, I had to go and grab it from him. Funny story. Well, Kieran, oh, here he is. Hello. Just streaming here. You got home a little bit sooner than I thought you would.
Yeah, well, you're just watching a movie.
Gotcha. Your keys are on the stove. You want to say hi to chat?
Oh, hi, chat.
Sharon says hi.
Hi.
I'll just wait for you to get through and then I'll continue.
Yeah, you're good. You watch the Northman. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Miraculous Holder 365, what's up? I didn't catch what you said, but I see you there.
Yeah.
There is something I did want to discuss with you, but I'll wait until after the stream.
Okay.
It's something in the kitchen. I'll show you. I don't want to talk about it on stream.
Okay, is something to clean up? Or?
Yeah, but not. We'll talk about it after the stream ends, if that's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's not urgent at the moment, but yeah.
Okay. If it's something I can clean up, just let me know and I can just wipe it down.
It's gonna probably be a bit of an effort, but we'll talk about it after the stream ends.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay. I understand how each of them feel in both of these episodes. Yep. Anywho, back to my review. Where was I at? Okay, we're at the section with Liko. It's pretty clear that she's been kind of she's down after what happened with the end of the previous arc. That being said, it seems like she's at least somewhat kept up on her training. Interesting enough, it looks like Anne has actually gotten a lot stronger. Her Pokemon are fully evolved now. She's got Samurott and Sandslash, so that's kind of cool. And it also seems like she's a top student at the school. And the thing that I thought was very interesting here is that she's apparently being scouted for the Blueberry Academy. So, Blueberry Academy arc in the future? Because I feel like that was a huge hint that we are going to be getting that at some point. But for now, yeah, Liko's feeling really down about everything that is going on, and it's clear that the explorers are like really influencing, everyone saying like, oh, we're the good guys and the Rising Volt Tacklers are the ones that caused all this, because there's a few students that are talking about how like bad the Rising Volt Tacklers are. So yeah, and then at the end of the first episode, Roy shows up and finds Liko and jumps like up in the air. I'm like, buddy, you might want to not do that and not break your legs. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the first episode. So moving on to episode 91, yeah, Roy does hurt himself when he lands. But him and Liko are, reunited here. And it's kind of interesting. There's a couple of students that show up that are. It seems like Roy's got some fangirls, although it seems like Liko misinterpreted and thought that, oh, is there something going on between you two? A little ship tease moment, nothing too big, but yeah, there was a little moment there. But anyways, Roy also reunites with Anne, so they're kind of hanging out, and Roy basically tells Liko about what he discovered. The dot tipped him off to it. It's clear that there are Pokemon that are exhibiting signs of Requirium, all around the world, and we need to try and kind of resolve that. Oh, I should mention in the previous episode, the students were talking about how there was like some Pokemon, like there was a Pokemon in Hoenn that was affected and going on a rampage, so it's pretty clear this has happened all over the place. But anyways, Roy wants to basically take Liko with him and go back and traveling and reuniting the gang, because the Rising Volt Tacklers all disbanded. After what happened, they tried searching for Freed, but after a while they couldn't search anymore because the explorers closed off the area, and it was they were banned from re-entering. And so they basically decided to just disband, and they just went all their separate ways. So Roy, obviously seeing all this going on, he's like, we gotta clearly, stop this. So he wants Liko to join him, but Liko is very reluctant, and she doesn't feel like she can, especially after what happened. Probably was very demotivated that her adventure ended in such a horrible way, so she just doesn't want to do that, or can't do that. So Roy, is like, all right, that's okay. I tried. But anyways, Anne wants them to battle just to kind of, ease the mood. So Roy obviously wants to battle. He's become very battle crazed in this time. But anyways, I like how Liko is just very unsure of everything, and she doesn't want to go, but Meowscarada actually ends up running off, and Liko has to find Meowscarada. And I like how Liko's just very unsure. She's like, Roy and Anne are moving forward, but what about me? And this is clearly her kind of going back to, how things were way back when she first got Hatena. Because I remember in that episode, she was very unsure of, what to do. She's like, Roy and Anne are moving forward, what about me? And she's kind of regressed back to that moment. And then while she's, Meowscarada is actually hanging out and watching a battle that's going on in the yard, and it's actually Roy versus Anne, which Roy ends up winning. Beats the A student at the school. All the students are kind of noticing what's going on too. And eventually, Liko decides to battle with Roy. So we get, a rematch between Liko and Roy. And I will say this, despite the fact that after all that happened, Liko's still holding her own here. Meowscarada is still, it's a fully evolved Pokemon, so it's pretty good. It's pretty strong, it's, making it kind of difficult for Roy, even though Roy's got the type advantage. So it's using Flower Trick all over the place. I like how they note that both of them have gotten stronger since the last time they've seen each other. So yeah, Liko hasn't regressed at all in that department. She's still pretty competent. She's actually doing better than Anne was, actually. Granted, Anne went up against Lucario, but hey. She still lost. But anyways, eventually they terrestrialize their Pokemon, and Roy ends up winning. So he gets 2 W's in 1 episode, so way to go, Roy. Definitely powered up over this last year. But at the end of it, Liko has decided to go on her journey again. It turns out that battle was her motivation. That basically, I like how Anne kind of realized that, it's almost kind of like, a nod to Ash, where it's like, hey, if you're down, how about we have a Pokemon battle? And that literally was what, caused Liko to kind of regain her confidence. So there she is, and now Liko and Roy are back off adventuring. This time, not on the ship. They're kind of adventuring, on foot for now. Until we reunite the gang. Which they're probably split up all over the world. So they're going to be probably traveling on foot for a while. So anyways, that's pretty much episodes 90 and 91. So overall, I thought this was a pretty good start to, this arc. And especially after the time skip. A lot of things have happened, Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is Spinel actually makes an appearance at the end. And he has 5 out of the 6 hero Pokemon captured, and he pretty much is like, yeah, we're taking over the world. Also, we get the opening, and we get to see Songo and Onyx in it. Their time skip designs are not too different from, their what they already look like. So, yeah, there's that. But anyways, I actually like these episodes. I don't think that they're perfect. I'd probably say they're like 8. Like a solid 8 for me. One minor issue I did have with these episodes is that there was an over-reliance on flashbacks. They did that quite a bit, which I thought was a little unnecessary. I thought the battle animation wasn't the best either. So I was kind of expecting more from a 1-hour special kind of going into the new arc, but I thought that this episode, these 2 episodes were fine. It's a fine, reintroduction of the series, reintroduction to these characters. Roy's been off training in Kalos for a year. We did get the introduction to Alt, and at the moment, I'm kind of unsure how I feel about Alt. I kind of found his character to be a little bit of a nuisance in this episode. So hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about him, because he has the same goal as Roy. He wants the black shiny Rayquaza. So we don't really know much about him. We just got his introduction in this episode, and we just know he has a Sableye that can Mega Evolve. Which is cool. No knock to that, but personality-wise, I'm not sure how I feel. Maybe there's more to him. We'll get to know him a little bit more in the future. But right now, I'm kind of unsure how I feel about Alt. I do like how Roy is now. He's definitely he's matured a bit, and he has a lot of confidence. He's got aura, and by the way, we did see his aura with Lucario, which I thought was pretty neat. Also, another thing I didn't mention is Dot is at home and her mom is showed up in the episode. I thought that was kind of nice and talking to Roy and stuff. So cool. I like that. It's obviously an introduction, to what this arc is going to be doing. We're going to probably be going all over the place, resolving issues with Pokemon that are rampaging. You're probably going to have that while also slowly rebuilding the Rising Voltaclers. We're essentially building a new version of it, arguably with Roy possibly being the new leader since, Freed is MIA. So, and then, for the first episode, I thought it was a solid start. The second episode, I thought was pretty decent as well. It makes sense that Liko was demotivated by, everything that went on. She didn't get, necessarily, a lot weaker, but she clearly just was a bit traumatized over what happened and demotivated. You went on this adventure and everything was going good, and then everything goes bad, and now the group that you're part of is framed as bad guys. And yeah, it's pretty clear she probably was just no, I just can't do this now. I like how through battle she was remotivated and gained her confidence back, so that was nice. I thought Anne was utilized really well in these episodes, and also Blueberry Academy arc in the future. Are we actually going to be getting that? That basically got. I feel like that was foreshadowing to us going to Blueberry Academy one day. So, and then Anne's probably going to be there. Awesome. We love Anne here. We want to see more of her. And I gotta say, another thing I want to mention. Remember back when we all thought Anne was part of the Explorers? I like how she's the one person that's sticking up for Liko and Roy and stuff like that. She knows that Liko is part of the Rising Voltaclers and the Explorers are the real bad guys. So it's pretty nice that Anne's sticking with Liko through all this. So that was cool. But yeah, not really a whole lot much else to say. This was really just an introduction to what's to come next. So yeah, I'd say overall for me, the whole thing's an 8. Maybe the first episode's 7.5, 8, and then the second episode, I kind of like both episodes equally, so probably 8, both of them. What do you guys think? So let me get caught up on the chat. Nathan, what's up? Those old producers never ever be able to make Ash appear. I mean, it's kind of hard now with a 1-year time skip. You gotta kind of age Ash up now. Anne needs a third Pokemon. Maybe she'll get another one. But I don't think it's necessarily necessary for Anne to get another Pokemon since she's not a main character, though. I wonder if Liko or Roy will have a full team of 6 at the end of the series. I'm not sure. I mean, Roy's kind of pushing that. I mean, if he gets 2 more after this point, he's only temporarily using Cap, but hey, it counts for right now. So technically he has a team of 4 right now. Oh, another thing I want to mention. Apparently, Kilowattrel learned Electro Ball. Apparently. Learned it during the 1-year time skip. That bothers me. Can we get some flashbacks, please? Clawless, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. So a good start to the arc. Yes, I agree. Roy is stronger than Liko in the battle department. I would say at the moment, yes. I'm concerned Alt might be an annoying character who is a chatterbox. That's kind of my thought right now, because I really hope he's just not an annoying character and he's just there to just be oh, he's a new rival for Roy. And he just doesn't like Liko and he's jealous of her or whatever. Because he wants Roy's attention and Roy, doesn't want anything to do with him. Maybe he'll be an interesting character. We'll see. The first episode didn't really give me a good impression of him. So we'll see. Great review. Oh, hey, what's up, Lady Luma? How you doing? Great review, my friend. They're great episodes. All I know is that if the anime doesn't recognize the voice of Lucario in a backstop, really missed potential right there. All in all, great start to the arc. Agreed. Like I said before, is it an issue that he just got a shiny Lucario off screen? Yes. However, they can actually, resolve this by having a flashback. In fact, I think I mentioned this in my Monster Hunter stream the other day. What they can do is they can do kind of a parallel episode to, the episode where Freed met Captain Pikachu. We could have an episode where Roy recounts how he met Lucario. Maybe he met it as a Riolu, bonded with it, and then it evolves. They could do it in a single episode. They did it with Cap. They could probably do it with Lucario here. 8 out of 10 for the first one, 9 out of 10 for the second one. Gotcha. I feel like Roy's aura with Lucario will be a big thing this arc. Maybe? I can't say I like Lucario. Feels like attack on, sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the other mons. As of right now, I agree with that. Like I said, if they can actually give us a good backstory similar to Captain Pikachu's, then yeah, I'll be sold with it. Other than that, it's just a strong asset to Roy's team at the moment. But I will say the one thing that I did like in episode 90 is that Roy utilized all his Pokemon. They either participated in the battle or were doing something in the episode, which I thought was cool. So I have no problems in that department. At least they're not forgotten. In the opening, there's a lot of characters behind the trios. Yeah, I saw that. Nemona's there too. Fayevi? Is that how you pronounce your name? What's up? Welcome in. The opening makes it look like Alt has more to him than meets the eye with the clip of him being alone in the alley. So I'm intrigued to see where his character goes. Yeah, I'm not writing him off yet. I'm just saying this first episode didn't give me a great first impression of him. So I'm going to give him time before I'm like, okay, I don't like this character. I'm willing to give him a little bit of time to settle into the series. But so far, I'm not sure how I feel about him. We didn't really get a whole lot of him. Kilowattrel should have gotten Electro Ball a long time ago, agreed. Lucario right now seems like fan service, plus they made Lucario OP for no reason. I mean, it's Lucario. I wouldn't say it's OP, but it did win against Anne. Especially because it's clear as day he was placed there for the sake of mega promotion. Well, they gotta sell it somehow. I love the lyric symbols around Liko Roy in the opening. Oh, I wanted to mention something else. It does seem like there's some new music. There's new OSTs for this arc, I notice. Another thing, too, is now that Freed's gone, it looks like Nidothing is going to be replacing Freed. So, that's kind of neat, I guess. At least we'll get to see more Nidothing, because I feel like Nidothing kind of just faded away the last arc and a half. So it's nice to see Nidothing back. I actually have a theory about Alt that I made on Twitter. Oh! I haven't really been on lately, so I'll have to check out check out your theory. I'm on and off Twitter these days. I've also, because of my situation, I haven't really paid attention to a whole lot going on, so I'll check it out here shortly. Is it just me or the stream keeps cutting out? I don't know. I can't listen back to it right now since I'm hosting. I wonder if the students and staff at Naranja Academy will defend the Rising Bolt Tacklers in the future. I imagine most of them are aware of them and realize they're not bad people. And I believe I was going to say, don't they, I believe they're aware that the explorers were the ones that attacked the school. So they're probably aware and probably realize that, the explorers are probably making that stuff up. I know Lucario is a strong Pokemon, but still, well, yeah. So for next week's episode, they will be searching for a Steelix, yes. Plus, it looks like more alt shenanigans, yep. Roy and Liko get separated by the looks of it next week's preview. Maybe Liko and Alt can get some bonding time, and by the end of the episode, he realizes, oh, Liko's not a bad person. I just need to stop being, obsessed with Roy. Do people still hate the time skip? Who hates the time skip? I was gonna say it literally just started. Lucario's moveset so far is Metal Claw, Close Combat, and Flash Cannon. Yep. Oh, it is none other than Fizzle Wizard, who released Matt back here to my house. How are you doing? Alt Gold is same with Roy and Black Crazy. Oh, you mean as goal? Yep. I just wonder if that's necessary and shows like, did you have to do it? I mean, I guess I don't. I think Pokemon doing a time skip is different. It shows that they're trying something different. And I think different's not a bad thing. Different can be a good thing. I think the anime needs to be, more diverse and try new things compared to prior series. And I like that they're like trying different things. So them doing something like this is a big thing for the series, for the anime. I guess we'll find out in time if it's a good thing or not. Good. So I'm guessing its fourth move will be Aura Sphere. Probably. We only got, 2 episodes of it so far. We'll probably get its fourth move revealed here soon. Masquerada doesn't get enough credit in these episodes. Sure, she lost a battle, but everything she did was to encourage Liko. Well, yeah. That was the whole thing, because she was discouraged. She was like, hey, I can't go on this journey. I just can't after what happened. And then she recognizes that, hey, Roy and Ann are going forward, but I'm just staying still. And like I said earlier, it's kind of a callback to the one episode where she got Hitena, where she acknowledged that Roy and Ann were moving forward, but she's not going anywhere. She kind of regressed in that regard, but it's kind of understandable that she kind of got back in that mindset, considering what happened to her and the other Rising Bolt tacklers and Freed. So her being that way makes sense. And it took Masquerada to, push her in the right direction. And eventually, through battle, she got her motivation back, even though she lost. And again, despite the fact that she lost, she didn't, she didn't go down easy. She gave Roy a tough time. That flower trick was getting the best of Crocodile in a few situations. Yeah, and, Roy has the type advantage, so there's also that. But he's also been hard training in Kalos for a year, too, so. The fact that she was able to, pressure Roy is a good thing. It shows that, she hasn't gotten any weaker. She can still hold her own. Even if her Pokemon's fully evolved and Roy's isn't, still. But yeah, the point is, I get what you're saying. I worry we won't see a method. Why are you worried that we're not going to see a Methio again? Why wouldn't we see a Methio again? There's no reason he won't show up. If the other explorers are showing up, he's going to show up. With what Spinel's doing and, That's going to be one of his main enemies, is Spino. He's probably going to try to, you know, stop him. So he's definitely going to show up at some point. If he doesn't come back, that would be a weird decision. I'm shocked no one met Theo in the opening, but we see some ending episode to see what he's up to now since a year later. Well, maybe they're kind of just holding back on showing him because he's not going to be the main focus yet. Or a focus. Because it's clear that this first arc is going to be rebuilding the Rising Bolt Tacklers up. And then maybe the next arc he'll, you know, play a bigger role. Even though Kilowattrel learned Electro Ball in the 1 year time skip, its moveset is still crap. Well, yeah. So now Liko needs to win with Meowscarada, yeah. Unless you want to count Zygarde, which that wasn't really a win. It was more of an, hey, you know, you did. I'm acknowledging your win here, or your strength here. I'm just gonna dip out now. Thoughts on Meowscarada cuddling with Liko in the opening? I don't really have any thoughts on that. My thoughts are I don't have any. Also, I know Liko got motivated by the battle, but I still believe Liko isn't out of the woods yet. Given what is shown in the opening, she's got more hurdles to deal with compared to Roy. Yeah, probably, yeah. She might end up running into a situation where she becomes unsure what to do. Neither Roy or her Pokemon snap her out of it, so we'll see. Post-traumatic PTSD, yeah. After what happened, yeah, stuff like that happens. That's a very real thing. So I do like that the series actually kind of like partly tackled that. That's cool. Does alt bother you, or is it too early to say? Like I said earlier, he didn't give me a good first impression, but I'm willing to give him time. After like some time, after like maybe like a couple months, if I'm not liking the character, then yeah. But I'm not writing him off yet. We barely got him in, you know, episode 90, so we just got a little bit of his personality, and his personality's kind of on the annoying side, so we'll see. What did I miss? What's up, Thomas? Oh, we're just talking about the episodes. Sup, Keyless Dragon Ball? How you doing? It's annoying how people are comparing the complaining about Lucario and Aura. I don't really mind it. I can see why people are bothered by that, but who cares? I also noticed that all the Explorer stuff is in Liko's half of the OP, which gives me the feeling she'll have more of a personal stake, and the conflict could be reading too much in it. I'm not sure. Sometimes they put some symbolism there. Sometimes it's not so. So the battle with Roy showed Liko gave Liko the push she needed to continue her journey. Yes. I love the symbolism in the middle of the opening between Liko desperately running to reclaim what she's lost, her found family, the Rainbow Tacklers, and Roy calmly walking as if he's trying to move past it. Or he's just trying to reunite everyone. I'll have to relook at that. I don't know. Since it is kind of the thing he's trying to do is rebuild the Rainbow Tacklers back up. So there's a screenshot of Terrapagos outside of the Pokeball, so it will be out of its dormant state soon. Yeah, at some point, yeah. That was another thing I didn't mention. Terrapagos has been in its Pokeball for a year. Dang. Someone get it some food. At least the opening showed that we will be getting Songo and Onyx as regular antagonists. Yep. I'm still happy about that. Songo's outfit is pretty nice, but she doesn't look too much different after a year. Still love you, girl. It's funny how people forgot Lucario can use Aura and are acting like any trainer can do it. Is Ash or something, right? I wonder how much longer we will focus on Liko and Roy. I wonder if 3 years is enough. I get the feeling that Horizons is gonna at least go until the end of next year, probably. Probably at least until the next generation, and then they'll probably do something different for the next series. It was cool seeing Mega Sableye. It was dope. Loved how it battled. Yep. I always like its little, I call it a rupee. It just looks like a red rupee from Zelda. I just think it's funny it battles with that. I like how Liko stood up for herself. Yep. At the end of the episode, she gained that confidence. She's like, yep, I'm part of the Rising Volt Tacklers. What you gonna do about it? Whereas she was hiding that from everyone. And only Anne knew that. Not sure if I worded that properly, but I think there'll come a time where the separate viewpoints between Liko being stuck in the past and Roy trying to move forward will come to clash. Maybe. So maybe Songo and Onyx will be using Mega Evolution? We'll see. As of right now, I think it's only Roy and Alt, but it just depends on, you know, what Liko and Dot want to do. Because we know that Roy was off training in Kalos, so, for the last year. So maybe, okay, I read that already. I don't think Roy has special aura like Ash. Instead, it was a visual demonstration, and Roy and Lucario have strong bond. All people have aura to some degree. Yep. So, based on the opening, Liko looks like she's taking 2 steps back, while Roy is taking 2 steps forward. I'll have to rewatch it. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to say if you haven't liked the video already, if you could do me a favor and like the video, I'd appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, vote in the poll. Apparently someone did not like these episodes, because they rated it lower than 5. Just one person, though. Other than that, 10-9 is winning the poll. With 8-7 right behind it. Well, behind it distantly. I like the moves Roy's Lucario knows. The close combat looks dope. Yep. Close combat I always liked. I like how it looks in the anime and games. So do you think Alt might betray Liko and Roy? I kind of can't really say that right now. I kind of need to know a little bit more about Alt before I can come up with like a theory on him. But I've seen people say that he might secretly be an explorer, and he's just there to just spy on them. But I'm not sure I believe that right now, because it kind of just feels more like he just is some kid that just saw how strong Roy is, and he just wants to challenge him all the time. Wouldn't be surprised if Roy just beat him every time. He's just one of those characters like, I'm gonna beat you tomorrow. If I can't, I'm just gonna keep trying. So I can't really make that assumption yet. Maybe when we get a little bit further in the series, we'll be able to tell whether he might, have ulterior motives. Maybe that's why his name is Alt. He has ulterior motives. Get it, guys? That clearly means he's betraying them and, appeasing Spinel. And, now he's going to get stronger. I don't know. I don't know what his goal would be. Or maybe he's trying to get the Black Rayquaza for Spinel. Who knows? It is heavily implied that Liko will catch Chandelure, and which will Mega Evolve. Where is that implied at? Is that implied in the opening? Did I miss something? Could you maybe explain, Thomas? Lucario has yellow aura to match its shiny. Yep. That gives me Antheres. Ooh. It's the Anthery again. Oh, with this time it's with alt, so we could say is alt secretly a explorer? Alt has ancient Pokeball and opening. Whoa, oh. Maybe he just snagged that from Roy because he wants the Black Rayquaza for himself. We haven't seen much of Alt yet, but from the short impression I have of him from episode 9 of the opening, I think it's just he's just kind of lonely and wants a friend, which is why he keeps following Roy. That's probably the most likely reason. That's why I'm hoping maybe we get like a backstory from him, and that might make him a compelling character. Other than that, I'm not sure. I mean, the opening shows Alt looking sus in the alley. Or he could just be like depressed, I don't know. Time will tell what happens though, yep. I like when Roy looks annoyed with Alt, yep. Like I said, I feel like it's kind of like slightly too early to tell. But as time goes on, we'll probably be able to see whether maybe he might have some like ulterior motives. Maybe there will be subtle hints over time that he's like doing something, or like they're just things that don't add up, you know what I mean? Like, oh, how did the explorers discover us here, you know? Unless there's like a mole among us. Like it shows he is no longer the type of person that has matured. That type of person, yeah. Roy was like in the beginning of Horizons, Roy was definitely, you know, not mature, and he would often try to go, you know, do things on his own, which is something Freed did not want him to do, which he did several times. And now you kind of see him now. He does look, he's grown taller and he's matured a bit, so that's cool. I'm actually I'm kind of liked where Roy's character has gone. He actually might be one of my favorite characters in the show now. He's definitely come a long way. In the early parts of Horizons, he was probably my least favorite member of the three. Just because it's like, well, like I like him, but like Dot was my favorite of the three, and Liko's got like the most focus. She was like the focal character in part 1. But, you know, Roy definitely grew over time, and like he grew on me. Which is why I do feel like him being, you know, a more focal character in part 2, you know, is a good decision. Showcasing his growth up to this point. There was a Pokemon anime presentation with the anime staff with a bunch of Pokemon blushes of the Pokemon owned by the main cast. One staff member was wearing a bunch of Lampand and Chandelier merch. Oh. Maybe. Might be onto something there. Yo, what's up, Devin? I'll give it an 8. I hope that we get more information on Alt and Lucario. Maybe they'll give development to this guy, but he seems like a beat stick. I hope they give it a somewhat unique story. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Devin, I wouldn't be surprised, like, because that's the thing is, like, obviously him just having it is a problem, but if they were to give it, you know, a backstory or something like that, and I'm wondering, since, you know, Roy has kind of taken, taken inspiration from Freed, what if we had, like, an episode where, you know, he tells the story to, like, Liko and maybe Dot or someone, or Alt, about, you know, how he met Lucario and Kalos, and maybe it was a Riolu, and he bonded with it and eventually evolved, or something like that. Like, it could parallel, you know, the Captain Pikachu origin, you know, episode. And that's still one of her, Horizon's best episodes. So if like they were able to do that again, but this time, mirror it with like Roy's Lucario, that would be cool. I think that would be a great way to kind of, explain, how he got it. Because as of right now, he just has it. It's just like, okay, after a year, him catching a new Pokemon, that's, it's not like a surprise or anything. Technically, you'd think you'd have like a whole team by that point, but hey. Getting a new Pokemon at least is something, for the series. But, if they did that for like a Captain Pikachu-like episode for Lucario, that would be great. That would like satisfy me. And I want him to learn more. I want to learn more about Lucario and its personality. I mean, yeah, we can get to learn it more. This was honestly just a tease for it. This was a reintroduction to the series for the second part of Pokemon Horizons after the time skip. So we'll have plenty of time to learn more about this Lucario and, its personality and stuff. But in time. Just hopefully they do a good job with it. We'll see how they do, as we go into this further into this arc. I like Roy more now than I did in the past. I like him a lot more compared to like early Horizons. He's definitely come a long way as a character. And Chandler was leaked to get a Mega in the Legends ZA. Oh, really? Interesting. Liko wasn't... Oh yeah, watching Dot show lately. Damn, poor Liko. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, she hasn't been keeping up with Nitto thing, which just shows that, Liko has kind of just separated herself from, like, her past. I do like Liko and Dot. Like, they seem like relatable characters. Yeah, I think Liko is very relatable. Honestly, both her and Dot are very relatable for me. To like exhibit both of their personalities at times, especially when I was younger. I'd say when I was younger, I was more like Liko. Or had a shy personality. And got nervous in certain situations. Yo, Pokefan, what's up? No, you're good. You good, man? We've been going on for like 50 minutes, but you're good. I hope you're enjoying your game. I remember Liko once said to Dot she might watch more in the future, but right now, since episode 89, she hasn't picked up much at all. Yeah, probably just gives her, some bad memories. I'm sorry, the anime staff had human plushies of Pokemon owned by main characters, and one lady had a bunch of Lampant and Chandelier merchandise. I see. It does seem like Dot is back on her own ways of being secluded. Yeah, she clearly kind of, regressed back. I mean, technically they all separated and went back home, so she kind of just went back to, how she was, but not quite completely. Because she is, communicating with Roy and stuff. She'll eventually come out of her shell again. The opening pretty much hints that that's going to be the case at some point. So she will join Roy and Liko again on an adventure. Yep, soon. Liko used to be shy and self-reserved, but she opened up more. Usually that's what happens with, introverts. They can open up more over time. I did that. I really like these episodes. They were pretty fun. I agree. A good way to start this arc. History and Samurott, they finally had the perfect chance to fix it, man, but still stands all fours. How does it swing the swords and keep balance? At least it's strong. Yep. I still like Samurott, though. Normal Samurott. Roy with Captain Pikachu. Yep. By the way, what's up, Ross? Welcome in. Reason for the lady having a Litwick plush was because it was a famous celebrity and her favorite Pokemon was Litwick, so that explains why. Oh, interesting. Samurott being a water fighting type would have made sense. Yeah. Probably would have. That's kind of neat. Anyways, while I have a second here before the chat picks back up, just want to say if you're joining the stream, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button. We are 1 away from 14. Can we get to 15 and then get to 20 maybe? Maybe we can do that. And also vote in the poll if you haven't. Like I said, somebody did not like the episode and rated it lower than 5. If you are that person, I'd like to know. Feel free to say something in the chat. Super Plush Productions. Hey, what's up? What do you about Roy's with Lucario? I mean, what do I think about it? Not too many thoughts yet. I'm just kind of want to see more from it. I mean, I really want to like flashbacks or like a backstory for it. That kind of is needed since, you know, Roy just got it off screen in the year time skipped. I wonder how much stronger Songo and Onyx have become. Maybe they toughened up a little bit. Probably, you know, losing the Liko and Roy probably stung. So maybe they got a little bit of a power up over the last year. That'd be cool. I want Roy to find his parents again. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there's an episode in the future where, you know, he runs into his parents at some point. That'd be cool. So with Anne mentioning the Blueberry Academy, that means we might get it later on in this arc, or will be in Arc 6. I don't think they just drop that for no reason. It's pretty clear that Blueberry Academy is going to be a thing someday. They don't just say stuff like that and then don't follow up on it. That was clearly a hint that we're going to get that at some point down the road. So that means Champion, Kieran, and the BB Elite Four? If he is the champion, then sure. And that would resolve the issue of Carmen having such an underwhelming appearance in the Rayquaza Rising arc, too. You know, I was getting ready to work on my review for the Rayquaza Rising arc, and that was one of my top issues. But now that I've waited until after this episode, you know, aired, I can probably put a footnote in there and say, hey, well, you know, there might be some hope that she'll be making an appearance again, so there's that. I'm down for her to get Chandelure. That'd be cool. I mean, we'll see what happens. That'd be kind of a different Pokemon for her. That'd be kind of unique for her team, so I'm up for it. I've seen people so mad about Liko losing, and it's sad. Like, it makes sense why she did. Don't mean I like it, but I'm also not complaining. Well, again, I'm gonna just say this again. Why are people mad? Okay, number one, she didn't just lose easily. She held her own. Roy was actually struggling against her quite a bit. You know, it wasn't until they terrestrialized that Roy, you know, overcame her. So she ain't weak. She did better than Anne did, for crying out loud. So, like, people getting mad over that, come on now. You know, winning's not everything. There's just certain times where, like, you know, depending on how it's written, you know, it can be good or bad. I also have an honest question. Some people say the earliest installments and the franchises are the best. I don't know if that is true because if they're just starting out. It depends. Some series, yes. Some series, no. Well, some people don't think the earliest installments are the best. Yeah. Usually the first installment, you know, sets the groundwork, you know. And then later installments can improve upon it and build upon it. So there's all that to think about. Maybe Songo and Onyx having another Pokemon. We'll see. I mean, Songo already got Screamtail, so there's that. That one guy in the YouTube comment section who always gets violently angry with Liko losing was furious and beyond mad. Well, that's his problem. He can go bark at a corner then. Like a double Pokemon battle with Alt and Roy versus Kieran. That'd be cool. By the way, PokeFan, if you have any screenshots of that guy's comments, I would appreciate it. I'd like to see it for myself. You can put it in an anti-poke. I'm sure Fizz would get a kick out of it too. Alt, man, the image of him on the side view is the coldest he's ever looked. Other shots, you gotta deal with that hair. Yep, exactly. I was just saying that I'm with Roy on how I feel about Alt. Bro's annoying. Yep. Hopefully there's more to him. I'm not gonna write him off yet, but we'll see how he's treated in the future. But right now I'm kind of just indifferent towards him. Where is Emerald? That's a good question. He's not here. That's all I know. Exactly. With like Roy winning, it wasn't that big of a deal. They were like practically like Liko was giving Roy a hard time, and just because Roy, you know, won in the end, it's not a big deal. It'd be different if she went down in like less than a minute, you know, and maybe it's like a wake-up call to her or something like that, and then they have a quick rematch where she does better, you know. There are ways you can also write it too, where she loses and it's fine, and she gets, you know, her motivation back. And especially what she went through, you know, people deal with trauma differently, so her going through what she went through, it's pretty, you know, it makes sense she'd be demotivated. So the fact that she did that well against Roy, despite, you know, having this cloud over her head, you know, it speaks volumes to how far she's come as a trainer. She beat her grandma and knocked down Zygarde. Yep, exactly. She ain't weak. So her losing to Roy is not a big deal. And she also beat Roy in the past anyway, so, you know, what's the issue, you know? Is Roy trying to be the new Ash Ketchum? No. I can see why people compare them, but no. Roy is Roy and Ash is Ash. Mitchell really love Orange Islands? No. Not really. I mean, we got Snorlax and Charizard obeyed Ash during that time. You know, learned to be obedient towards Ash. That stuff was cool. And him winning the Orange League was kind of cool at the time, but it's not the best. Also, Roy's Kilowattrel learned Electro Ball off screen. Yep, I know. Roy beating Liko makes sense. He's been training hard for a year, so he has more battle experience. Yep. Well, I do say he's angry. He's angy. Haha, that's funny. Can you get some clips? I would appreciate it so that I can, you know, had a bit of a long, rough day today, so I need some laughs. I need some laughs up in here. Kilowattrel did participate in the battle, but it learned a new move off screen. Yeah, at least it participated, though. I said earlier that I like the fact that Roy utilized all of his Pokemon in the episode. Whether it was big or small, you know, had a big or small part in the episode. They each had a presence, so I thought that was kind of neat. Honestly, I'm good. Kiko got used to... Kilowattrel got to use a new move. Yep. And yesterday someone said Meowscarada was using Petal Blizzard in the intro. We see all that pink. Well, what actually is happening is when Flower Trick is used, it also releases pink petals. Yep. I like this new Roy because it's like he's more focused and more cool. Yep. A little bit older, a little bit more mature. I like this. Oh yeah, I read that already. And we see multiple Flower Tricks, so it's not Petal Dance or Petal Blizzard. And they got upset because I'm dumb. Well, don't worry about them. Just block them. Move on. If they're gonna insult you or anything, just don't deal with it. I found the scene where Alt falls asleep at Roy's camp, but wakes up angry when he was left behind. Funny. Yeah, he was a very angry boy. Angry boy. I feel like Petal Blizzard would fit Masquerada, maybe. At least the writers know he's annoying. That was kind of an issue with Black and White. Like, Iris would be like really obnoxious and like no one would even react to her or call her out. It's weird, man. Yep. So maybe get rid of Magical Leaf. I mean, Flower Trick is basically taken over as the signature move, and it's a strong attack, so, or a strong move, so why not? Funny. How many other variations of Lucario are there? Oh, there's a couple. I was gonna say Ash has a Lucario, Roy has a Lucario, and it's shiny. Kukui has a Lucario. Karina has a Lucario. There's the Lucario from the movie. Lucario in Smash Bros. Yeah, there's a couple Lucarios out there. Roy ditching all is funny to me. Yep. I will say Lucario having all stab is very boring, like no coverage. Oof. Yeah. It's only 3 moves revealed. Maybe its 4th move will be something else, but yeah, I'm expecting Aura Spear or something. And it's yellow. It's YOLO. YOLO. To me, Lucario has a boring moveset. Like, give it maybe Dragon Balls or Extreme Speed. Maybe it will learn a new move in the future. Sir Orin, Mullane, Cameron. Oh yeah, Cameron. We don't talk about Cameron's Lucario, though. I love that I predicted the yellow aura. Yep. Good going, my dude. You're a great prognosticator. Mine's Lucario and Cameron's Lucario. Ooh. The person that shall not be named Lucario. The person who brings 5 Pokemon to a 6v6 and somehow wins in one of the dumbest moments in the series. Riley. They love drawing Lucario because they know how the animate is gonna be around for a lot, guys. How to animate, it's gonna be around a lot, guys. Yep. But it's shiny now. Now it's yellow. It's a Super Saiyan. Because Sean Schemmel voiced Lucario in the past. And he looks like a Super Saiyan, so why not? Well, Liko lost because she didn't do any training all year, and Roy trained in Kalos, so it makes sense why Liko lost. I mean, I don't think she necessarily didn't train at all. It looks like before everything was going on, she had some battle training with Anne, so maybe she was just like training with her a little bit. And Roy acknowledges that Liko has gotten stronger in the 1 year since they last saw each other. It's also fully evolved too, so I don't know about her other her Heteram though. Thunder Punch I think would look cold on this Lucario. Yeah, that would be a cool move. I'd be down for that. Thunder Punch with its yellow body. That'd be cool. Can Lucario learn Ice Punch? Can it? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Please no Aura Spear. I think it will learn Dragon Pulse because it is super effective against Rayquaza. That'd be cool. The other night I was saying how Lucario was overused and someone literally went, Shut your trap. Lucario is too awesome to get that kind of treatment. Everyone is glad Roy has it. Nobody is actually sick of it. I mean, it is overused. That's kind of a fact, but I'm still willing to give this Lucario a chance. Just gotta see more of its personality and maybe that backstory. Then I'll be sold. I think Blaze Kick would be cool, yeah. Sure, nobody's actually getting stale with it. Look, Pokefan. How many Charizards are there in the anime, too? How many characters have a Charizard? You get a Charizard. He gets a Charizard. He, me, she gets a Charizard. And look what Freed has. Oh, wait. It's another Charizard. So, very daring today. Are we, Freed? I think Liko's Meowscarada should learn Night Slash and Leaf Storm. That would be cool. Though I think Flower Trick is going to be its main move. Thunder Punch would be nice. Yep. Kind of wish Roy had a different Mega Pokemon. Like Lucario is cool, but give other Megas their time to shine. Yeah. Screw this person that shall not be named Lucario. Yeah, we don't talk about that one. I don't know who made the decision to have Cameron win that battle, but man, what an insult. How not to write not even a rival, but a battle with Ash. But the yellow Aura Sphere would look so well. Actually, look kind of like Electro Ball. Yeah, probably. Just doesn't have any electricity to it. Which also a lot of characters have EV. Yeah, I know. Koharu, Lana, Serena, May. Yeah. EB. Checked, and yes, Lucario gets Ice Punch. Ooh. Nice. Cameron beating Ash is just stupid. Yeah. And people wonder why Black and White has a bad reputation. There you go. Reason, 157. I still laugh at Unpheasant getting cartwheeled into a wall by a literal baby. Yeah, I know. Man. And this is why it's on the bottom of my anipoke series list. One of the bottom series. Well, Mega Chandelier may be happening with someone on the cast. Guess we'll see. Cameron will evolve for plot armor. Yeah, there's a lot of plot armor that goes into the leagues. Tobias is literally a walking plot armor, plot device. He exists solely for Ash not to win, and then he wins and never shows up again. Could have shown up in the PWC, but, he didn't. He just decided he was too good, I guess. The Mega Chandelier is actually real, of course. All this does come from an early build, apparently. And I'm still very skeptical. I thought when it came to the Terra Leak, I want to say Legends EA didn't really have anything. And the stuff that was made available was debunked. Since somebody was sharing both real and fake info during that whole thing. And really misconceived a lot of things. I mean, black and white anime just did Ash dirty, yeah. It really did. On multiple occasions, for like no reason to do so. Ash's Unpheasant as one of his weakest Pokemon, along with Boldor and Palpitoad. Yep. Tobias can go step on 2 rakes that hit him in the face, then back of the head over and over. Yep. May he never appear again. Don't come to my Pokemon series ever again. Don't let me see you on my Earth again. Tobias was around just for Ash to lose. Well, yep, we knew that. And give him a mythical and legendary to make him overpowered. Yep. I've seen Mega Starmie and I'm not convinced like at all. Oh, interesting. I'll see it when I believe it. When I see it, I'll believe it. What should have happened in that battle that Scraggy was Ash's last Pokemon and evolved in Scrafty and defeated Lucario as a pass of the torch moment. Would have been good. Too bad they didn't do it. Liko's gotten stronger. It's just Roy's training was just more focused on her losing. Makes sense. Like imagine 2 athletes who consistently go to the gym and one does legs. Will likely be the better runner. Yeah, makes sense. Like I said again, she's not weak by any means. She also had the type disadvantage, but just Roy was pretty focused on, getting stronger in the last year. So, you spend a year doing that, you're going to have results. Ash's Scraggy evolved into Crafty. Should have battled Iris's Hexoressence. They acted like best friends. Ooh, that'd be interesting. I like to imagine Tobias went on a retire happily, knowing that he basically smoked a 10-year-old by basically cheating and playing how a coward would with all the legendaries on a mythical. Yeah, right? Oh, guys. I'm getting a little sleepy here. It just occurred to me that we've been streaming for well over an hour. We're rapidly approaching the 1.5 hour mark. We'll still go on a little bit longer, but since we have a decent crowd here still, but at some point we'll probably be wrapping things up since I do have to sleep at some point. Pointy point. I like to imagine Tobias went on a... Oh yeah, I already read that. I'm sorry. Tired. Tobias used cheat codes. Yep, he just, he did the one cheat back in the day where you, do the missing no stuff and get all the rare candies or whatever. Just don't try and catch it. You might do something to your game if you do that. Cause it to just go berserk. Gonna go put those pictures in the anipoke real fast before I forget. Like Tobias with Darkrai, Latios, Entei, Zapdos, Hedron, and Manphy. Dang, what a stacked team. Anyways, give me 1 second, guys. I have to pee. You can go ahead and keep chatting. I will be back momentarily. Let me go and do this, and we'll resume. And we'll resume with Super Plush Productions chat. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Ow, dang it. I just ran my leg into my table. Dang it, that hurt. Alright, where did I last leave off? I think Liko's Meowscarada should learn Night Slash and Leaf Storm. What do you think? I think that'd be cool. Maybe Night Slash at least. Leaf Storm would be cool, but I feel like Flower Trick has kind of just become its signature move. You know how it used to spam Leafage? Now it's going to just spam Flower Trick. Can't really blame it when it's, you know, the signature move of that Pokemon. And it's really strong. It is funny how every time Anne appears, she is so awesome, but is never used on a regular basis despite this. Right? Such a missed opportunity to not have her part of the main cast. It is basically Liko's rival. I wouldn't say rival, they're just besties. I mean, they battle quite a bit. I mean, I guess you can say maybe she is. Kind of like with Ash and Kiawe. Kind of a similar thing going on there. Though a bit different. I hope Alt gets more Pokemon. I honestly wish his goal was to become a Mega Master and watch one of each Mega Pokemon to get their stone or something. Yeah, gotcha. Would make him wanting Rayquaza a coincidence instead of copying Roy just because I'm your rival. You know, that's a good point. Like I said, I'm still... It was just an introduction, so I'm not like... I'm not writing him off, but I'm hoping there is more to his character. Maybe he's just copying him just because he wants, you know, attention from Roy. Maybe he just overheard it one day and he's just like, hey, you know what? That's my goal too, Roy. So, guess what? I'm gonna go catch it. What you gonna do about that? You know? So maybe there is kind of, you know, some deeper character here. Maybe he did have like a bad childhood or something and he's just looking for attention. Who knows? We just don't know yet. Well, I'll give him time. You know, Horizons, you know, has consistently surprised me with how it's treated, you know, treated its characters. I remember in the beginning, I was afraid before Horizon started. I was worried that Roy was going to be an annoying character, and I was going to be annoyed by him. And he's one of my favorite characters in the series now. So, you know, I'm not willing to judge all based off of, you know, one episode. However, if he's like this every episode, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I don't really like Alt. He kind of just is annoying. I think Alt should catch another Pokemon this arc. We'll see. He's always got a Sableye, so it's like you kind of need more than one. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a new Pokemon. But now we got 4 characters, so how are they gonna juggle all these characters? Like Alt wants to catch the Mega Rayquaza. Yeah, maybe he needs to catch a few Pokemon to kind of get to that point. Kind of need like a team of Pokemon to go up against a legendary Pokemon. Might be kind of difficult to catch it on just, you know, a Sableye. Because what's that Sableye gonna do to it? It's just gonna flick it and it's just done. I'm just kidding, but he needs more of an arsenal in his team. He wants to, you know, get that Rayquazas. Okay, I think you guys missed this. Roy being Anne was a big deal because it was implied that she is one of the strongest in the school. She got the personal invitation to BB Academy, and the other students. Yeah, and the other students were like impressed with her. They'd like, yeah, she's great. So that her battling was a big deal. Yeah, they're going on about how great she was. I think I mentioned that earlier, where I said that, you know, Roy beat Anne, and she's already like revered as like one of the strongest like students in the school. So like, yeah, that is a big deal. And he beat Anne pretty decently. Didn't really have too much difficulty with her. He had more difficulty with Liko, surprisingly. So just saying, Liko ain't weaked. Like, what other Pokemon would fit him? I don't know yet. I really don't know. We don't really know enough about him yet. So get back to me in like maybe like 5 or 10 episodes. And then maybe we'll have an idea of what might fit him. Kind of off topic, but I saw a new bag for my electronics. Only costed $9.99, and usually it costs $40-50. Got a lot of room and some nice features. Nice! That's awesome, dude. That's cool. Oh, dang it. Come on, man. I see your post, an anipoke fan. I'll look at it here shortly. I think Fizz might get a kick out of it too. Liko sleeping with her cat. Yep, and it's a big kitty now. Okay, y'all. It's been about an hour and a half now. Usually this is the time we kind of start wrapping things up. But if you guys have more things to talk about here, go ahead and chat. Maybe I'll give it a little bit longer, but then I do have to kind of go to bed here soon, so just putting that out there. I'll go on a little bit longer, though, if you guys want to. Alt should get Grimmsnarl. That could fit him. Grimmsnarl? He means Grimmsnarl? Okay, we got Sharon agrees. I was like Grimmsnarl. I was like, I thought something was missing from the name. So it is Grimmsnarl. Water. Hey guys, there you go. You got some Pokemon lo-fi then playing in the background. Bennett. Nettie. Bennett. Can't pronounce names. So just gonna keep it brief, but I hate the new Pokemon ship, the Horizon ship that people made. All I'm saying. I think I know what you're referring to. And it's only a small part of the episode, too. But you know how shipping goes. Typically, shipping turns into toxic arguments. I've seen this song and dance for the last 10 years, honestly. More shipping was literally a decade ago. I know how people were like then. You didn't want to anger the Amore shippers. If they didn't get what they wanted, they revolted. I just hope that they've matured out these days. Do you ship Liko and with Roy? No, not really. They seem like best friends rather than like, you know, lovers. Like people ship Ash and Serena. Well, there's a little bit of a difference there because there's a clear character that has feelings for the other character, even if the other character like doesn't understand romance. Whereas with Liko and Roy, there's been like 2 small hints, and there's really nothing going on there. Let's be real. One instance, Liko kind of misunderstood Roy, and the other one, she didn't want her classmates to kind of get the wrong impression. I'm not talking about Liko and Roy. Oh God, what are you talking about, Pokefan? Do I want to know? Oh God. Drew and May, that one works. I like this. I like this song, by the way. In the Video Game Study Lounge, I think it's called "My One and Only Love" by Button Masher and DJ Cutman. Cool stuff. Alrighty, you guys got anything else for me? It looks like you do. Let's just say now that the cat of all people think they won the shipping wars because of the intro and certain... Oh no! 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 Oh no! 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 I'm gonna have nightmares now. Do you ship Dawn with Ash? I don't really ship Ash with anybody, honestly. He's a 10-year-old. When you're 10, you don't really think about that stuff. I certainly didn't. I was all about Pokemons and Zelda and other video games and stuff. Just like no end of story there, right? I think the thing that kind of killed shipping for me was Amore shipping. And just how unhinged that community was back in the day. There were some normal people in that community, but like a lot of them were just had a weird obsession with it. Weird. We got Sonic remix here, and I like this song too. Anyways, y'all, and you guys got anything else for me out there? That scene of Meowscar out of dancing with Liko, yeah. Yeah, let's not. Yeah. I think Sarah Natachani herself said, "That's when I went to a con. Ash is 10. The last thing he has on his brain is getting with the girl. All his companions, including Serena, are just his friends, and that's it." Yep. That is a very reasonable response to that. But anyways, enough of shipping. I don't really want to get into any further with it. People are calling Liko a furry. Why? They're just weird. Like, if you're into that stuff, that's fine. It's just, why are you saying that just because she's, like, dancing with Masquerade in a scene? That's just, yeah. I don't understand that. Is Serenata Cheney voicing anyone in Horizons? I think she might be voicing minor characters. I'm not sure. That's about it. She seems to have kind of moved on to other series. She's got to work, so. I'm curious what Spinel is doing in Rikua. I believe personally he's building a mine facility. Maybe. She's playing Tinka Tink. Oh boy. Oh, she is Tinka Tink. Oh. She also Tinka Tough too? Nice. Okay. I am getting tired, guys. Do you guys have anything else for me before I pass out on stream? And then I wake up in 2 hours and realize I'm still streaming, and you guys are like, what happened to Mitchell Mander? He's just sitting there menacingly. She played a Caterpie? Oh. Probably in that one episode where Liko ended up unintentionally angering all those bug Pokemon. What series is she working on? There's a rom-com anime called Ayla somehow or sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. It's a rom-com anime, but she voices the main character, and she is Russian, so she does the Russian voice acting. It's kind of neat. Nope, I'm good. So what is Veronica Taylor doing? She's still voice acting. She's been in a lot of different things. She's actually in Dragon Ball Super. She played Ribrianne. And that was like fan requested too. People were thinking that'd be a good role for her to play, and I guess I saw it on Twitter and she auditioned and got the role. Sorry for bringing that thing up. Honestly, tried to be as vague as possible for no reason. Well, you're good, but yeah. I didn't need to know that. It's fun too. I learned that icon that Sarah's Russian. Yep. And she voices a character that is Russian. It's kind of neat. I think the character is like half Japanese, half Russian or something like that. I don't really know a whole lot about the series. I just know a few things. Rom-com anime are not my forte. Some of them can be kind of funny, but like, you know, you gotta be into like, you know, romance and then, you know, the romantic comedies and stuff like that to kind of, you know, enjoy. So if it's not your thing, you're not gonna be into it. So thoughts on next week's episode preview? I'll make it brief. It does feel like, you know, it's still kind of continuing on from, you know, these episodes. We were, you know, trying to find the Recurium sign and kind of figure out what's going on. So they're going to end up battling the Steelix, it looks like. So that's cool. Maybe Alt's going to meet Liko and be annoyed with her. And maybe by the end of the episode, he maybe changes his tune on her. No idea, though. But it looks like an interesting episode. Not gonna lie, I hope Heterum gets used because it appears Liko still hasn't been training her. Yeah, I hope so. I feel like next week's episode won't have as much stuff as the 1 hour's preview. I mean, that's kind of to be expected. I still hope it's a decent episode, though. But that's about it for me. Have been fun and glad we were back to our schedule. Yep. Like I said, you know, we'll be back on Saturdays, but as of right now, I can only do late at night unless things change a little bit. Probably is going to be a long time before we're back to, you know, doing the live discussions at noon on Saturdays. My circumstances have not changed, but have actually gotten better. I'll just say that things are better, not great, not perfect. Still got a long way to go, but we're moving in the right direction so far. Just gotta hope that things continue in the right direction. Got a long journey ahead of us. It's gonna be months before things get back to normal. And I'm being honest when I say that. It's gonna be months after what happened. But as long as we can overcome it, we'll be good. Oh, by the way, Mitchell, hope you've been doing okay. Remember to take care of yourself and your family. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm working on it. Like I said, things have gotten better, so just keep hoping for the best. Like, maybe we can have Tinkatuff and Headram use a full moveset, maybe. Anyways, I'm going to give you guys another minute or two, and then I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. I'm starting to pass out over here. Do you guys got anything else for me before we get on going out of here? Also, like the stream. We're at 16 likes. Can we get 4 more likes to get 20 likes? That'd be cool. I love you all. And also vote in the poll while you have the chance. This is your last chance to vote. Nice stream. It was a nice stream. But now I sleep. Well, if there's nothing else, yeah, we can go ahead and wrap things up here. I think Rayquaza for sure will Mega Evolve this arc. Possibly. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here, as I need to go to sleep now. So we're gonna go ahead and end the poll. We got 26 votes. And yeah, it looks like 10-9-1. So I'll meet you halfway and give you an 8.5. Sound good? Sounds good to me. But yeah, I like these episodes. They're a good start to the Mega Voltage arc. Hopefully ends up being a good one. And I will do the Rayquaza Rising arc review at some point. I just don't know when that will be. You guys, I just ask for patience. I've got a lot going on in life right now. So I will try my best to keep up with YouTube and stuff, but just be aware that I can't always, you know, I don't always have time to do stuff, especially with things being so hectic in my personal life right now and lately. Hopefully things get better in the future, but that's where we're at. Anyways, guys, we're going to wrap things up here. So if you are still here, thank you so much for joining. We're going to be doing this again on Saturday for episode 92. And it'll probably be around the same time, 8, 10, unless things start changing here. Just expected to be around that time. But we're wrapping things up here. So if you're still here, thank you so much for joining. Hope you have a great day or night wherever you're at. And I will see you all later. Bye now, everyone. Bye, bye-bye. See y'all later, alligator. But for real, bye now.